Yeah, it flows. And I think like the training helps you get all the bullshit off your back.
Right. Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yup. Especially for me too, because like I party a lot and I'm in the studio till like 5, 6 in the morning and I'm drinking and stuff like that. So to just be going down that path and doing that every day, bro, I look crazy. I'll feel crazy. Like I have to get that off of me, like out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why your gym is crazy, bro. I need to do something like that for myself.
It's nice to have
At some point. Like, that's how I look at you, like the OG. So it's like, I'm not going to go do it tomorrow. Like, hey, everybody build me a gym. But, you know, eventually that's the goal. When I look back, I'll be like, I seen Joe's gym, and that's what made me.
Well, dude, you train hard. I've seen your videos.
Yeah, I get to work.
You work out at Unbreakable? Is that your spot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great gym.
Yeah, it's a really good gym. Jay Glazer. He owns that spot.
Very, very impressive place. He put together an awesome place.
Yeah, it's cool. The team there is good. Like I said, it's not all about like just fighting and being, you know, the biggest, baddest, meanest motherfucker. Like they really taught me about my body. That's what they do. They teach you there. Whatever your goals are, they bring you, you know, up to that speed. So it's like I weighed like 140 pounds ever since I got out of high school, and I was like, fuck, I gotta gain some weight. And they helped me out.
And doesn't Snoop train there too?
Yeah.
There's this video of Snoop sparring. He's sparring Daniel Sarafian.
Yep. Daniel's fucking crazy. You
He's
ever
a
met
beast.
that dude?
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yo,
I've
Daniel's
called his fights
crazy.
before. He's a tank.
He is crazy.
That guy's a tank.
Nuts. His thing is like, yo, I got to get hit. I'm like, all right, Daniel, you know.
He's got to get hit to wake himself up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wow.
Take those hits,
There's
Danny.
Snoop sparring with him.
Yeah, Snoop was going at it, too. He was trying to take him out.
Dude, Snoop throws some good shots.
That's them
man.
right there.
Yeah, Snoop's got skills. He really does.
I'm glad Daniel ducked that one.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Get him, Snoop. Oh!
I guarantee you Snoop
Look,
would
that's
fuck
Ernie right
up
there.
a lot of people
Yeah,
in a
yep.
regular fist fight.
Hell yeah.
He's tall as shit, too. Look at
Coming
him.
at him like that. Look at those arms.
Yeah.
Bip! You
Look at that.
Go ahead, Snoop.
So that was... That's Sarafian. That guy's a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he fought in the UFC for a while.
Yeah,
He's still fighting, still active.
Yeah, I think he's in Brazil right now.
Is he?
Yeah. He was working at the gym for a minute, and then he, I guess he chilled out.
Yeah, it's anyway, my point was the videos, it's nice to see because you're training hard. Like
Thanks.
I'm watching you do Muay Thai and hit the pads. I'm like, dude, you're really putting in work on this.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's an everyday thing. It's a journey, like, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to learn. Ernie Reyes is my, oh shit, that's Senshai right there. That was fun.
Snoop.
He was teaching me some stuff.
Wow.
That was early though. I suck right there.
Still though, you are sparring right there with one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters, if not the greatest of all time.
Yeah, that dude's super tight.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's really good.
His videos, like the highlights.
Yeah.
You ever see that jumping left switch kick? He knocked that dude out with.
Yeah.
He's outstanding.
He got some crazy kicks.
So how cool is that, man? You're sparring.
Yeah.
With one of the greatest of all time.
It's fun as fuck because it's like those people, like, you know about fighters, they're the majority, like you said, when you meet them, they're cool as hell. Like,
yeah.
So to meet him and him not want to whoop my ass or like tell me like, hey, you look goofy, sit down. He's like showing me shit that I could use later. So it was like, it was cool.
Well, the Thais have a really interesting way of sparring. Some of them do. They play.
Right.
They don't hit each other full blast. They like tap and they laugh around and joke around. They're just developing their timing because they fight so often.
Yep.
John Wayne Parr's a friend of mine from Australia, multiple-time world champion. And, you know, he would talk in depth about how they would play. They just play. They just hit each other, just slap each other a little bit. And like that way they understand the timing of it, but they never worry about it. They don't get hurt. And they can do it all the time. It's a really smart way to do it.
Yep.
But you'll see guys like Sarafian, he's capable of doing that. Like so he could spar with a guy like Snoop, or a guy like Sanchai could spar with a guy like you and just play with you.
Right.
Well, everybody just have a good time and it's fun at the end.
Yep. Super fun.
Yeah.
Yep. Hell yeah. Definitely seen that a lot, like on Instagram. And even with my trainers, we'll do it. Like me and Ernie, we was just doing that yesterday, where it's like developing the timing of the kicks. Where it's like, you kick me, I kick you, I kick you, you kick me, I kick you twice, you kick me 3 times, I kick you once. Like you said, just playing around.
Yeah.
And like when you got a good sparring partner, you take care of each other.
Exactly.
You don't hurt each other. There's no ego involved. And the Thais, they do like knees. They'll knee the fuck out of each other. Like it looks like kind of hard, but they're just making their bodies harder, like you said, for later because it's like they're used to it.
A lot of times they'll slap each other with the side of their leg too, rather than like really drive the knee in.
You just hear it smack.
Yeah, they're just slapping each other a little bit. So how many years have you been training martial arts now?
This is my 2nd year.
Wow.
Yeah, only 2 years.
That's amazing.
I gained, what, 35 pounds?
Pull up a video of him hitting pads. That's incredible.
Is it a new video?
I don't know. Tell him what video
it's
to pull up.
probably going to be old, but it's all good, though. You know how we are.
You can hit hard. You have good technique. You turn your hips and shoulders into things.
I'm learning.
You do it right. So
Thank
that's
you, bro.
very impressive that it's only 2 years in.
Yo, I'm learning. That's
it's
the thing.
awesome, man. I love it. I love it when people take a chance too and they try something new.
Yeah, that's old, but you know, we'll get there.
So how months had you been in here? Like you say this is old.
This was probably like a year in.
Yeah, this is a year ago.
Yeah, yep.
Dude, seriously though, good technique for someone who's been doing it a year. The way you're moving, I mean, there's no fat to your movements.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like everything you're doing, it might not be the fastest in the world or the most devastating, but you're doing it perfect.
Thank you.
You're doing exactly how you're supposed to do it, and then you just get better and better from there.
There you go.
But what we were talking about is the change in your physique, man.
Right,
I mean,
right.
you became fucking shredded.
Right, yeah,
It's
yep.
impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
That's only through hard work. You can't do it any other way.
Yeah, just working and eating. I was
Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my freaking doorbell. It's hard to cut that off. Sorry about that, guys.
That's no worries, man. Welcome to the wonderful world of convenience.
There we go. Bam. Yeah, eating like a motherfucker, bro. I had to like force myself to eat.
To gain weight?
To gain weight.
Yeah.
Fucking just moving around so much. I already have a quick metabolism, so then you add working out to that.
Ooh.
So it's like I'm burning so much. So setting alarms to eat.
Really?
Getting a little bit more rest too. You know what
Setting
I mean?
alarms to eat. Like, how's that work?
Yeah, like
You wake up and then you eat and then you
wake
go back to
up,
sleep?
eat, go back to sleep,
Oh
go
my
train,
God.
eat.
What kind of
go
farts
to
are you
sleep.
brewing?
Well,
eat right before you go to sleep. Oh my Jesus Christ.
I do a lot of like ginger shots and like shit like
good.
that to help like with
Turmeric.
my diet. Yeah, turmeric, all of that shit too. Cause like you said, that shit can fuck your stomach up.
Who told you to get up in the middle of the night and eat though?
My trainer.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, yep.
I would say that your sleep cycle is more important than anything.
Well, it's not like breaking my sleep. It's like more like, yo, eat.
Oh, you mean like you set an alarm while you're awake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I see what you're saying. I've never heard anybody telling someone to wake up in the middle of the night and eat.
Nah.
No, I
not
did
like
hear that. That's why it was weird. I heard that from, there was that movie with Clint Eastwood where he played a boxing trainer and his daughter, that famous actress, played a boxer.
Okay.
Remember that? $1 Billion Baby or something? $1 Million Baby? Yeah. When that actress, what is her name?
Hilary Swank.
Hillary Swank.
Good job.
When Hillary, thank you. Look at Jamie's on the ball.
Good job, man.
When she was training for that, I think that's what I read, that they had alarm set where she would wake up in the middle of the night and have a protein shake.
Oh, really?
And then go back to sleep again.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
No breaking the sleep. Just regular eating habits, just reminding myself. You know what I mean? Because I was eating like twice a day on some rock star shit. Can't live like that, bro. That shit is whack.
Do you have a nutritionist or someone who like handles your meals?
Meal preps.
Yeah, you got that?
Because I don't cook.
Right.
So it's like they just deliver my meals.
That's nice.
Yeah, yep. It's really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm single, so it's like I don't really got nobody in the house like cooking or making all that shit happen for me. So it just comes to the door.
So you can make sure everything's healthy, exactly what you want.
It's all
set it
there.
up for you.
It's fresh every couple days.
That's a good thing to not have to think about.
Yeah, yep. The food is like a big part of it. And working out is one thing. People just want to get big. Like you said, like we were talking about, it's like mind, body, and soul, right? So the food is for the soul.
When did you make the switch to Apple in the first place? Like, what was the thing?
Forever.
But what was the
iPhone
genesis?
1.
At some point, you had to have had like a Sanyo 59. That was my old flip phone. Shout out to Sanyo. I remember when I was in radio back home in Birmingham, I was gifted an iPod Touch.
Oh, yeah.
And I was all Android phones, Android everything. And I had an iPod Touch. And at the time, all I had to play music was a mini disc player. So I could only hold like 5 hours. I mean, this is like 01, 02. and I had a 5-hour mini disc, and I go, fuck it, I'll carry around an iPod Touch. And then it made more sense. Why am I carrying an iPod Touch and an Android phone when I could just have an iPhone that does both? And that started the journey.
I started with iPhone 1. But before that, I was using MacBooks. I was using Mac forever. But even before they had an iPhone. I used to make my own PCs. I used to go to the store, like go to Fry's, buy motherboard, buy hard
So you
drives.
never had no time for that. That's a lot of time.
you gotta want to do that. Like it was for me. I wanted to find out how to do it, and it was cool to play games on a computer that I put together myself.
But then you knew how to so you're building the games as well, or you going out and buying the floppy disk and all that?
I'm not definitely not building any games. I would just, like I'd buy video games, just play them on this. But even formatting it and doing everything, I would have to call friends that really knew what the fuck was up, and they'd have to talk me through shit. There's some things you'd have to do in the BIOS, and
the irony of all of this is that I still have an AOL email address. As much as I bitch about
Do
it.
you really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I do. And you know what? I don't understand email slander. It's like, motherfucker, I'm sending you words electronically. Does it matter?
It's
what
AOL.
company? What is it? Is my email more ghetto? Does it come with chicken grease stains when you open it in your laptop? No. It's the same words that if I send it from Gmail. Now, I have a Gmail account so that people will take me seriously when I email them about business ideas, but I still have an old school AOL email that I've had since college, and I'm like, it's fine.
It's one of those things though when
You just don't let it go.
you just think about you've got mail. You remember when you first heard that? You've got mail.
You were happy. You're like, oh, someone wants to talk to me.
It was very exciting.
Someone wants to talk to me. And then you get older and you realize, well, please leave me alone. Who the fuck is this now?
You've got mail. Yeah, it was exciting. It was like
Yeah.
a new thing. Did you ever watch Orange is the New Black?
A couple times.
Is it any good?
It's not bad. I felt like the characters were a little too overdrawn. I didn't buy them as real people too much. They seemed like it felt like a writer coming up with a character, as opposed to like really trying to portray human behavior. But then again, I've never been in a women's prison. My mom worked in a women's prison for years.
Dude. Really?
Yeah, and she talked about they were all victims. We were talking about earlier about women who were abused, and
All of them.
every fucking one of them was abused sexually, physically. Almost all of them are in jail because of a guy. They were carrying drugs for a guy. They fucking killed a guy because he kept attacking her. It was pretty rare, and a lot of it was obviously drug use, but that stems from usually childhood abuse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But for a lot of them, my mom said it was the best environment they'd ever lived in because there was a solidarity among a lot of the women. There was a lot of support. There was education. There were support groups.
Yeah.
And they developed relationships with women without men around.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were able to foster and nurture real female empowered relationships.
That's so sad and cool at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? It's sad, but it's like, well, it's nice that something is working out for them. Like women in jail seem to have a way better time of it than men in jail. Just seems like a better deal.
I think so.
You're probably not getting beat up as much. Isn't there a new reality show about women in jail where they're following these women in jail?
It's not just women. Oh, it's mostly women. I saw it. It's called Jailbirds on Netflix. I watched like the first
Yes, that's
episodes.
right. Is that good?
It's not bad. Yeah, it follows them in like the Sacramento jail, like where they're in holding or.
It seems like there's so many fucking shows about people in jail that it must be like prisoners must get agents now.
Oh my
like,
God.
get offers. I got an offer from MSNBC for lockup.
Greg, they like you, but they'd like you to just get some face tattoos. Do you think you'd be they'll put you on
Yeah.
A&E.
Right.
Okay? A&E. Bad Guys show.
They're giving you
Bad guys in jail. Greg Fitzsimmons. Like, oh, that's from the...
we're giving you a 2-year option, but I'm only in here for one.
I think, and this is just one of the time, I think of this sometimes. I'm not married to this, but I think that you have the possibility to occasionally get these glimpses of maybe senses that are evolving in human beings. And you can call it intuition, you can call it some connection you have with somebody, especially with someone you really love, like your family or loved ones or someone you really care about, and you think about them and then they call. It's almost like, man, there was some sort of a connection between people that just comes in and out. It goes in and out. Like sometimes you're thinking about someone, they text you. Like, is that just total coincidence? It might be. But it also might be that there's some weird, hard to define, impossible to measure connection that we all share with each other.
I think it's a beautiful way to look at it. I thought about that one day when I was just, thinking about my dad. I was traveling, and it made me think about thoughts and how thoughts are almost like messages we send out into the universe to just let somebody else know they're not alone, and maybe they grab them through some way, through some realm or portal. And it's important to conversation is so important because of that, because it reminds you of things and you draw associations. I was talking about my father one day, and John Heffron?
Yeah, sure.
He sent me a message, and it was while my dad was sick, and I was just, very upset about it. And John was just like, I went through the same thing that you did. I want to let you know that hearing is one of the last senses to go when people are sick. So just so you know that your dad can still hear you. And I had been afraid to call my dad during this whole process because I didn't want to know what he had forgotten. And so John sent me that message on a Sunday. And because he sent me that message, it made me think about my dad. And I was like, I haven't called him in so long. I'm just going to call him tonight. It was 4:00 in the morning, East Coast time. He was in his, what is it, hospice? What's the last place that people go? Is it the nursing home is usually right before people are passing? I think it's a nursing home.
Well, nursing homes certainly are a place where a lot of people wind up passing.
I think he went from memory care facility to the nursing home, and I called the night nurse. And my dad couldn't talk at that point. But because I said something and John thought about it and sent me this DM, I'd never met him before. And that DM made me want to call my dad, and I called the night nurse. It was 4:00 in the morning in Syracuse, New York, and I go, I know my dad can't hear me right now, but can you just tell him that I love him and I'm thinking about him? And Karen, I think her name was, she said, sure, I can go in and I'll tell him, I'll whisper it into his ear. And that was about 4:00. And, about, what was that, 1:00 here, whatever the time difference is. And so I fell asleep. My sister calls me about 20 minutes later. My dad passed away right after the nurse went in to tell him that.
Whoa.
And I can consider that a coincidence. Sure, we can chalk it up to a coincidence, or it could be what you're speaking about, where there is some sort of deep connection that we have that we can't express or articulate with words. Even though these words that were sent to me are the thing that motivated me to talk to my dad, there's something to the effect that maybe there's something mystical going on. Maybe there's something that we're not meant to explain.
Maybe the problem is the word mystical. The problem is that we're looking at it like it's some sort of a magic thing. And we're calling bullshit because so many people pretend to have it and don't.
And there's no real science to sort of back it up.
There's zero.
Yeah.
And there's also been the Amazing Randy's put out a reward where James Randi, I think it's $1 million if you can prove any psychic ability, and no one's been able to win it.
Well, how do you prove things of the brain?
You'd have to do it through. Well, here's the thing: if it is, let's just go wild here.
We need
if
Neil
it is
deGrasse
an emerging, he would never allow this. He would cut this off. Never allow this kind of.
He
nonsense.
doesn't want the curtain behind it.
He would entertain it with a scientific perspective, but if you're looking at something like an emerging characteristic of human beings, for instance, we know that we used to be single-celled organisms. It's very unlikely that during a time we were single-celled organisms.
For
we
30
could
minutes.
talk, or we could feel, or we could do interpretive dance. Okay, no one was writing books when they're single-celled organisms. So as these single-celled organisms become multi-celled organisms, become human beings, things are getting more and more complex, and more skills, and more senses, and more of an ability to manipulate their environment. And I think that it only makes sense that there could be some non-local connection that we have to each other, some way without just touching or talking or through visual. There's some sort of a connection that we have with each other that we just haven't evolved yet. It's on the way. It's coming. And that's why we long for it. That's why we're really interested in psychics. We're really interested in people that know the future, not just because we want to know what the future is. We want some sort of a feeling of hope
And interconnectivity.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's also that I think we know there's something to it.
Well, I think we know there's something grander beyond just this physical existence that we have. And then it brings up the whole conversation about the creation or existence and introduction of consciousness. When does that come into the picture?
When did it come into the picture, right?
Yeah.
When was the first thing conscious? And what is consciousness? Is it just sentience? Is it just being aware and looking out for yourself? Because then deer are conscious. Are rats conscious? Because it seems they're pretty conscious too.
It seems like I think there's a spectrum to consciousness.
Right.
And I think that one that we're talking about is the beyond, that like consciousness that
Next level.
Next level where
Yeah, it's got to go somewhere, right?
it's got to go somewhere. I mean, look at our brains. Our brains are like a universe in of itself, and they're in the darkness until death. I mean, you can't even, there's no way to really, besides like graphs and everything, to really understand the workings of the brain. I mean, it's firing, all this electricity is going off,
Right.
and these little teeny molecules are doing jobs, and there's
And like
like,
we said earlier, sometimes it works great and sometimes it's dog shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really wild.
Same person.
It's really it's so crazy. And then there's like this thing that happens in the brain and in the body, this like immune response where they send out this molecule. It's almost like a Paul Revere of molecules where it lets all the other molecules in the body know that some shit's about to go down. It's like a warning,
Right, like adrenaline.
like
You get an
a
adrenaline
warning
spike.
response. Yeah, but like little teeny. There's actual
Yeah.
little microscopic things that are doing these jobs.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How do
What
they
the
start their
fuck?
day?
Right.
Are they waking up like Joe Rogan and
You
going
don't
working
even
out for an
know.
hour?
You don't even know they're there.
No,
They're
you don't
out
even know
there
that. That's why I
hustling.
fucking talk to him, bro.
Dude, I get it. This USAID thing that's going on, Mike Benz has been on that like a pit bull. And I've been following him on X, and he's going to come back on here and kind of explain everything. But he explained it the last time he was here, and I don't think I really grasped it until Elon's 6 wizards. He brought in some young wizards to go in there and go over the books, and they are just finding crazy shit. It's great, and it's so interesting. I was listening to a left-wing podcast today. I like to mix it up. I listen to all kinds of different stuff, and it was like I was listening to a different world. Like, they weren't even talking about all of this corruption and all this obvious buying of influence. Instead, they were talking about aid overseas and how people are going to starve. And like,
it's mind-boggling, and there's also, I have to say, I'm upset at the general pattern of a failure to recognize how right those of us who hypothesized that there was a racket that had overtaken our entire governance structure, we turn out to be absolutely right about this, and no one's going to mention it. That's mind-blowing.
it's very strange that the media is ignoring it, especially the left-wing media. It's just too big of a win for the right, and so they're just ignoring it. And then they're just highlighting the good things that USAID did, which I'm sure it probably did. Probably had to do some good things to like at least justify its existence.
As a cover story, I'm not even sure. Maybe it doesn't change anything. Obviously, this was a mechanism used to funnel money to all sorts of things that we didn't vote on, that don't make sense in light of our constitutional structure. And I obviously have concerns like everybody else about where this train takes us, but seeing that structure broken up it's a huge relief.
They gave $27 million to the George Soros Prosecutor Fund. So our own government is funding this left-wing lunatic who is hiring the most insane prosecutors who are letting people out of jail who commit violent crimes.
And that's exactly how this racket worked, that the ability to tax the American public and then effectively get us to pay for being propagandized, for being surveilled, that's the game. And I don't know what era we currently live in. Obviously, there's a lot that's confusing about what the Trump administration is up to, but I don't think any reasonable person could be unhappy that we are exiting that era.
I'm going to read off some of the things that this guy, Kanakota the Great, on Twitter listed. And this is off the Jesse Water Show. USAID, $20 million for Iraqi Sesame Street, $2 million for Moroccan pottery classes, $11 million to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash, $27 million to give gift bags to illegals. $27 million. $330 million to help Afghanis grow crops. Crops. I wonder what those crops are. What's their biggest crop, Brett?
It's going to be the poppy seeds for bagels, I'm thinking.
Opium! $200 million on an unused Afghani dam, $250 million on an unused Afghani road. This is wild. I mean, some of this stuff is really, really crazy.
Well, yes, and, USAID is, of course, riddled through whatever international madness it is that caused us to open our southern border and facilitate an invasion through the Darien Gap. So, seeing that structure laid bare is... It almost feels like it can't be real. Like it can't have been this close to the surface, and yet here we are.
They were spending, is this number correct? I think the number that I read was $600 million every 2 months to ship in illegals.
Sounds right. I don't know the number offhand, but
what the fuck?
Well, you have to realize that basically we had a shadow apparatus functioning, and it involves all kinds of things. It involves payoffs to people who didn't deserve them. It involves contracting to entities that were necessary to get the work done. So I don't think we can properly understand what these numbers mean and what they're actually being used for, but it was a racket.
Well, we were always wondering, why is our debt so high? Why is the national debt so high? Why is our deficit so insane? Well, this is it. I mean, how about the one where they paid $236 billion, for chargers? Do you know that they were trying to set up chargers?
You mean car chargers?
Car chargers.
And they only built a couple of them?
Excuse me. $40 billion for electric car ports. 8 ports have been built. Do you know how crazy that is? $40 billion.
I
for
do.
Carports.
But I have to say, as much as this is shocking, I wasn't surprised. I thought that effectively our entire system had been turned into a racket and that we were basically being fed a cover story from it. And it's weird to now have the evidence of this, but I think it was apparent that whatever had taken over our system wasn't interested in the well-being of average people, that it was interested in the power of the state to take people's resources and redistribute them, and that really is what's been going on for most of our adult lives.
And it's also important to note that this progressive, left-leaning, radical left arm of the government, of the country, was manufactured.
Yes.
It's all manufactured. It's all manufactured and supported. It's not organic, which is really fascinating about the other side, because the other side, the reaction to it is organic. Say what you want about the Trump administration and what you think about him. That was an organic shift where people were like, fucking enough. Enough.
Yes, it was an overdue reaction.
Yeah.
The cover story that what we were up to was righting past wrongs was so pernicious and pervasive that it was hard to get our footing to challenge it.
Right.
But it shouldn't really be surprising that movement wasn't organic. Of course it was induced. It was a cover story for theft. And we're going to be waking up to the magnitude of that theft for quite some time.
I think this is going to take years. Chamath said that it's going to be like Iran-Contra on steroids. That's what he said. He said when you get to the bottom of all this, it's going to be insane. Because they haven't even got to the Medicaid yet. They haven't even got to the medical stuff. There's so much they haven't even tapped into where they think the real motherload of fraud is.
Yes, and I must say that there is also another aspect to this which we have to be careful about, which is that the justifiable anger at discovering what it is that we've been dragged into as a nation is going to make it hard to see where the limits ought to be in terms of upending this stuff. In other words, at the moment, I'm cheering for the wrecking ball.
Right.
Break this stuff up.
Yeah.
Never again. But there are.
What's that, Jamie?
I was reading an article about the spending on the Chargers. They said that they haven't actually, according to this, they haven't actually spent all that money yet.
Well, what do they do with it?
They've spent some of it to make some of those things, but it hasn't been allocated yet. It's a long article going through all the spending that's been done. It's on factcheck.org.
Factcheck.org. Who runs that?
I don't know. Some of the Chargers have been made. Some of them are on the way to be made, and they've built 61 at 15 stations since mid-August or through mid-August. 14,900 more are currently in some stage of development. But that's where it goes into like where they are, what they have to be done, and who's getting the money from them. It has to be done through a long process from each state.
Yeah, the question is, how can we get a proper accounting? As you point
Right.
out, who the hell is factcheck.org?
Well, that's the problem with fact-checking organizations. That should really be illegal. Like, I think if you're a fact-checking organization, we should have stringent rules on what influence is being peddled. Like, who's paying for these fact-checkers? Who's behind the scenes? What is the it should be very transparent. How did you determine whether or not this was true or false? Because there are a lot of things that get said. Like, I don't know if you saw this, but Elizabeth Warren got confronted, and it's on Twitter this morning. She got confronted about the amount of money that she's received from pharmaceutical drug companies. She said she's never received any money from pharmaceutical drug companies and never received any monies from any PACs. And then, of course, underneath it, Community Notes strikes again. And, of course, she received millions.
Yeah.
She's a fucking liar.
Well, and it's an arms race.
Yeah.
How can pharma cloak the money that it's giving so that there's plausible deniability at the point that Elizabeth Warren is confronted or Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders was hilarious. Only 1.5 billion. Only 1.5 million out of 200 million. Only 1.5.
Yep, that's what I saw
First
as
he
well.
tried to say nothing. Only the hardworking people of this country gave me money.
Well, I don't think the Democrats understand that it's over and that there was a vast infrastructure that made their feeble arguments viable, and that infrastructure is now collapsing. People are far more aware, and their lives aren't going to function anymore.
Well, it makes sense now that we're seeing these numbers because, okay, this was what was funding the infrastructure. Now we get it. Because it wasn't – otherwise, it's organic. This is the will of the people. This is how people are moving. It's not. It wasn't that at all. This was all organic, and it was really about control and money. It had nothing to do with helping people, making people better, giving aid to foreign countries. That's all a cloak and dagger bullshit show. The reality was it's about money.
Yeah, it's
money and influence.
It's always about power and limited resources.
Yeah.
And this was a new game taking place at a level that was hard to believe, and therefore many of us couldn't see it.
Did you see how they used software to map out 55,000 different NGOs that were used as a branch of the democratic system?
No, I didn't catch that.
I could send it to you. I think I sent it to you, Jamie, right? We went over it on the podcast before. It's so nutty that this was all kind of like hidden until they started using software to try to like figure out like, well, and map out where all the influence goes. And the crazy thing about the NGOs, and this is one of the things that Mike Benz has gone like so deep into, it's essentially like they contribute to the Democratic Party, the government pays them. It's like it's all this like weird sort of like circular money transfer thing that's out in the open.
No, it's a positive feedback. The whole idea is power is utilized to free resources that garner more power, and it is the exact inverse of the system that we are supposed to have.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Where we're headed, that's a harder question.
Where we're headed is we're going to own Gaza.
Somehow.
This is it. So Fractal Technology maps previously hidden connections between 55,000 liberal NGOs, revealing how tax dollars allegedly flowed through major institutions like Vanguard and Morgan Stanley to groups like the Chinese Progressive Association. This breakthrough tracking system can now monitor every dollar going to every NGO, exposing intricate funding webs that traditional tech couldn't detect. So, example, Black Voters Matter Fund's $4 million distribution network was invisible until quantum mapping revealed dozens of subsidiary organizations. The unprecedented mapping reveals a previously hidden web of financial relationships. And that's what it's really all about. And
yes. The problem is, sometimes when I see like a list of preposterous scientific projects that have gotten big grants. I read it and I think, they all sound preposterous, but I don't know. Some of these things are likely to have had a good explanation, and it just is not apparent in the soundbite. And some of them are every bit as preposterous as they seem. And so I can't look at a map like that and say what I would expect if the system was healthy. So I'm cautious about it. I don't think the system was healthy. I think the system was a racket from one end to the other. And I've been saying that we've been living in the era of malignant governance where there's basically no element of this you couldn't turn off and make us better. But we have to be suspicious also of our understanding of how a properly functioning system would graph in something like that, so that we don't overrun the train station when we get there.
And man, have you heard of hyperbarics?
Yes.
This
I know
is-
Uriah Faber used it quite a bit after his fight with Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
When Aldo fucked his leg up.
Yeah.
And his leg swole up real bad.
I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest game changers. I love to float, go in float tanks. I've done it at least 50 times. At Float OKC in Oklahoma, my wife and I, that's our date night. Once a week, we go and we do that. And I float fight week at least twice a week. I really believe in floating. Hyperbarics is unlike anything I've ever done and felt immediate, long-lasting benefits from.
Like how so? What does it make you feel
I
like?
get better sleep than I've ever gotten. That
Really?
was instant almost. I mean, I noticed it the first night. The second night, I've done over 20 treatments now of hyperbarics. You get in the tank, you put on an oxygen mask, and they fill the tank up with oxygen, and you lay there for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Some people only takes an hour, but I'm bigger, and they take me to a lower depth, and then my ears kind of mess up on me a little bit on flights. They kind of get clogged up or whatever.
Because of the hyperbaric chamber?
No, it's just they've always done that on planes.
Okay.
And so it's like you're in a plane when you're in the hyperbarics. And what it does is it pressurizes the oxygen down into your cells. So it's literally going into your mitochondria. That's what the new studies are showing. The oxygen gets in there and it promotes healing. And in your brain, it literally brings blood flow into every part of the brain that needs it. So it's one of the best things after a concussion. So I was with Raiden, and I'm one of those guys that sometimes thinks everything happens for a reason, or there's not a lot of coincidences. I had just started hyperbarics 2 or 3 days before I met Raiden. Then I'm doing it, and they're saying it's one of the best things for concussions. Raiden gets a concussion from one of those fights, or maybe it was one of the ones that wasn't on the fight, but they diagnosed him. I was with the doctors and his mom and his dad whenever the doctor says, I think he really has a concussion. Did some testing on him, wrote a prescription, and said, hey, I really think he needs to do hyperbarics. That's one of the best things for concussions now. And I was like, I just started. And so literally that day, the doctor hands him a prescription for hyperbarics, and then I take him in there and get hyperbarics. And this is probably the story I wanted to share with you about hyperbarics the most. There's this kid named Caleb Freeman, and he just made NBC Nightly News, I think Fox News and ABC. He's making the news everywhere because of his comeback story. The kid probably should have never been able to eat again on his own, especially never be able to walk. His parents were told that he would be left in a vegetative state. And if you have that Caleb Freeman video,
Because
number
of what?
one, he got in a vicious car accident. 16 years old, he had just started driving. He was the #1 cross-country runner at his school, but also in his district. And then he got in this brutal car accident. Here's the video of him trying to learn to put up the finger #1 again. He's trying to do a 1. That's his dad kind of coaching him. But he was the #1 cross-country runner. Now he's trying to get him to do a thumbs up.
And this is all
a
from
high
brain
five.
damage.
Yep. Traumatic brain injury. Driving down the road, hit a hydroplaned, got in a brutal wreck. And they thought he would be left in a vegetative state for the rest of his life. So you can see right here, his muscles are so atrophied because he had been in I think he was in a coma, or he was in the intensive care for so long. And so his dad's trying to get him to do a thumbs up. He's trying his hardest to do that. You can go to the second video, and they're telling him you should really try hyperbarics. They try everything you can. And so the whole community has rallied around him in Oklahoma. He's from Newcastle, where one of our board members are from. And they're trying to help him learn to walk again, assisted. I don't know what they have him in
Did he break
here.
his arm?
Yeah, he broke his arm.
Did he fall
hurt
down
his
and break
legs.
his arm? Because in the other picture, it seemed like he didn't have the
I actually
is-
don't know.
post-accident.
Yeah, this is post-accident. So maybe this was before that other video.
So which video are you trying to show then?
But trying to show you both of these because this is how far gone he was. And then after 40 hyperbaric treatments, they say get him in there, it'll flood his brain with oxygen.
Right.
When it has the oxygen, it'll reproduce the blood flow, and that'll bring actual healing into his brain. And so that third video is right here. He was the #1 cross-country runner at his school. So now he's trying to learn how to do cross country again. He wasn't ever supposed to walk again on his own. He came in there to the hyperbarics, assisted like you saw, where people are assisting him on both sides. He does 40 treatments of hyperbarics, and then all of a sudden he walks up and down the football field 14 times unassisted. Nothing changed, just 40 hyperbaric treatments. And
So
the
he has
doctor's
hope.
like, you got to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that next video is actually him.
That's a JPEG.
Oh, that's us at hyperbarics with Raiden. That's the young man that got the concussion on the right. And this video right here, I don't know if there's volume, but this is actually a pretty special video. This is after 80 treatments. He's literally finishing his cross-country run again. And he was never supposed to walk. And that's after like 3 or 5 miles.
Wow.
And
how's his ability to communicate? Is that coming back as well?
Yeah, he was actually texting me this morning. He texted me that picture of us and Raiden.
Wow.
And his dad actually forgot. He goes, where do we take that picture again? And or I don't have it saved. And Caleb goes, it's in your phone, Dad. Just look. And so he's able to recollect a lot of different stuff.
That's amazing. So this is all something that you're experiencing as well for your treatment for the parasites.
Yep. And I've literally never gotten better sleep. I feel more positive when I come out of it. And then I feel like I can focus better. Because one of the things that they saw in my brain scans where I have PTSD and then I have real severe ADD. And they can see that on how my brain functions. I guess there's like 8 different types of ADD
don't
brains.
Put me in one of those fucking things. I don't even want to know.
I think you need to do it.
I don't even want to know what's wrong with me.
Dr. Amon's awesome, man. And so then I have that. And then so going into the oxygen, they can see from scan 1 to scan 2 how my brain is actually functioning better. And the spots with ADD have kind of cooled off a little bit. The spots with PTSD have literally kind of gone down a little bit. And so that was Caleb's story. There's also this girl named Eden Carlson. And Eden Carlson, there's like a minute clip on the New York Post, and they did it on YouTube. This girl drowned for 2 hours. She was float down in a pool, or face down in a pool. Her mom pulled her out. Maybe 15 minutes, she drowned. For 2 hours, she didn't breathe. She didn't have a heartbeat. And then at the hospital, they miraculously got her back. Her story's all over. If you just Google Eden,
she was dead for
Carlson,
2 hours.
2 hours. Eden Carlson, Eden Carlson. She's the first one to have brain damage reversal. Scientifically proven. They've done all the MRIs and CAT scans
from the hyperbaric.
From hyperbarics.
So
one of the
how
first
is she
things
now?
they need to do for
Is she
drowning
normal?
victims. Man, I think this is worth trying to pull up one of those videos. It's New York Post, Eden. Oh, okay, you can't play that. But literally, there's an Eden Carlson video on YouTube, and it's wild to see how she's recovered and how they told her she would never be able to eat again, never be able to go to school, never be able to do that. Now she's basically a normal little girl again.
Look at her there.
Yeah.
So cute.
Right there.
With a little smile. That's amazing.
Her mom is like a huge advocate for it now.
That's incredible.
And
now, but with you, what do they have to do? Like, they have to find out whether or not the parasites are still in your system, identify the parasites, because it could be an unknown parasite.
Right. Well, they know it's schisto, and if I've had schisto in me for as long as they don't think it started in April. They think maybe that was another, not an onset, but took it to another level when I went there and got sick. And it was brutal. I mean, I was hugging basically the not the toilet, but the latrine while I was in Uganda in April and May.
Now,
I mean, I was just so sick.
This hyperbaric is helping you,
Yep.
but you're still not able to train right now. Like, you're not like, you don't have a fight scheduled anytime
I don't have a
soon.
fight scheduled, but I would like to fight first quarter of next year if I can.
Is that literally possible? I mean, if you're not...
6 months from now, I have another follow-up appointment here in March, and we're going to have a lot more data to show, like from my blood work to my bacteria in my stomach to those brain scans are going to be the big thing that show how my brain has started to heal, how my body started to feel,
Right.
and show my health just increasing. And so that's the goal. I'm on this mission to get healthy, so I can fight again, but also just so that I can function better, and have like not these big swings.
So the
ups and
hyperbaric
downs.
chamber is helping you.
Yeah, big
But
time.
yet you're still feeling some serious, significant
Well, I
side
just started the
effects.
hyperbarics a month ago.
Okay.
So I'm 20 treatments in. I need to get 40 done as soon as possible. And then they think I'll probably do another round of 40. And then, I mean, seeing how Caleb's doing, I mean, Caleb showed me this. This is wild. I come in and I'm about to get in the chamber with him, and he shows me his hand shaking. And he's showing me, I don't know what that's called, but it's whenever, is that when Parkinson's and different stuff, like you have those kind of shakes
You can,
in your hand?
for sure.
Or Alzheimer's or whatever that is. So Caleb's got that, and he gets in the chamber. 90 minutes later, we get out. He shows me his hand, and it's completely still, and he can put contacts back in his eyes.
Whoa.
But before, there's no way at all that he can get contacts in his eyes. Afterwards, his body's calmed down enough. His brain has enough oxygen and blood flow in it that he can put his contacts back in on his own.
That's insane.
Yeah. So Raiden, his parents say that he was always up and down in the middle of the night, and that they would have to try to put him back to sleep. And now once he's asleep until they wake him up. They think it's helping with his autism, his diabetes, his AC1 levels, or whatever those are called. Those have started to come down. And what the doctors have told us is like, there's nothing better. The doctors take an oath that say to do no harm. Like that's first and foremost, is to do no harm. And they're like, if someone has a concussion, or if someone has autism, or if someone has this bacteria or a parasite that might be in the brain, why not flood the body on a cellular level? Oh, you're going to love this part. That can increase your stem cells by 8 times in your body. Whoa. So it's one of the best treatments for whenever you have the stem cells injected in you. So I had the MSCs, the mesenchymal stem cells from my hip put in my shoulder. They said one of the best things I could have done for it would have been to get in a hyperbaric chamber, because that would promote the stem cell growth and life of the stem cells, because they're cells and you're pushing oxygen into the cells and increasing blood flow into it, and you're extending their life and helping them reproduce.
Damn.
So it's one of the best things out there, Joe. I wouldn't be talking about it like this without Raphael is getting into it. Joe Namath has his own clinic now for hyperbarics.
Yeah, he's doing that to reverse his brain trauma from football, right? I read about that.
Right, and it's the first time there's ever been documented cases of brain trauma reversal, where if you can heal your brain, you can basically heal your life. Where you have a healthy brain, you have a healthy life.
Dude, we need a hyperbaric chamber in here.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you buy portable units?
Yeah, absolutely. I use something called a Seacrest, which I think you would really like. It's the hard chamber. It's glass.
You have one in your house?
No, but the Seacrest one, there's Joe Namath doing it. I think Michael Phelps does it, getting in the water.
Brain damage. Look at that. Wow.
Literally, it's wild at how much stuff it actually
So
helps.
what's the prognosis like with you, with the doctors that have looked for parasites, they're doing all this blood scan? Do they think that they're going to be able to straighten you out?
They think so.
Yeah.
They think with doing a holistic approach where medication can come in at a later date. I had this doctor that's, you have PTSD, here's these pills. Oh, you have depression, here's these pills.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're starting to have anxiety for the first time in your life. You've never had it before. Here's some more pills. You think you have ADD? Here's some more pills.
Right.
They put me on 3 or 4 different pills at the same time. I started feeling like a zombie.
Yeah.
Like a zombie. I felt weird. I felt like I started having like electricity running through my veins or something. Like my muscle started twitching. My eyelid was constantly spasming.
So the doctors that have looked at this, all the different various ailments that you have, and they don't want you to do pills. So what do they want you to do, and what do they think is going to be able to happen? They think you'll be able to fight again? Are they?
So Dr. Amen, he's a guy that says, man, our brains are literally, you can live, they can do lung transplants, right? And heart transplants and kidney transplants. Like you can't do a brain transplant.
Right.
And so he's saying that anyone that's in a brain damaging occupation, and he said whether that's fighting, football, or even being a firefighter, because that is a brain damaging occupation. You're breathing in burning couches, which are putting off all these harmful chemicals. And so he said you want to protect it and promote your brain health as much as you possibly can.
Right.
So he's a brilliant guy, and he's going to be on weekly calls with me, guiding me, keeping me accountable on how am I protecting my sleep, what am I getting to eat, also supplementation. What's that one that you were on here with David Sinclair talking about?
NMN?
It's like that. Rolls.
Resveratrol?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, it's not a drug. It's an antioxidant. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that plus some of the other things that you guys were talking about, like they're all in his supplements, where he tells you go get these supplements from here and here, and make sure that you're optimizing your brain health.
But it's the same thing with mountain lion.
Yeah. Well, one just died. A famous one just died.
Where?
I got a text from Ranella out here. He ate some rat poison.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a real problem with rat poison, man. Rat poison doesn't just affect rats.
Yeah.
There's secondary and...
My dog almost died that way.
Yeah?
And what it does is the rat poison, I think, stops you from producing vitamin K in your body, which is how you clot blood.
Oh.
And so they just bleed internally.
Oh,
so my dog ate a
Jesus
shitload of it, and they pumped his stomach, gave him charcoal, and then he had to take vitamin K supplements for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people, they poison their rats, then things eat the rats.
Yeah.
And this mountain lion is a famous mountain lion. Collared, one they were
Really?
tracking. Yeah,
Down out
it had
here?
a number. Yeah, Ranella texted me about it, and then I looked into it. Oh, you got it there? Which number does it say he is?
P47.
P47. Is that the one that they spotted at the... No.
So this one's only 3 years
Hey,
old.
we were going to get a photo of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, yeah, we tracked it down.
Yeah.
Remember?
What happened?
It's expensive.
Yeah, let's do that, though.
All right.
Let me know after the show.
All right. Yeah, it was just like, well, which one you wanted, the artist proof, whatever, and we got into that detail of it or whatever.
Yeah, because that one photo that they caught of it, have you seen that photo of the lion with the Hollywood sign behind it?
No.
It's amazing. It's one of the best. It's so fucking human because this lion has a collar on it, like it's got bling on.
Really?
It's standing in front of the Hollywood sign, and it's as big as fuck.
I
it's
love that. It's like a 150
look at
pound
it,
mountain
look
lion.
at it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look at that photo.
That looks staged.
It looked staged.
By the way, look at the muscles.
Look at its forearms.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous animal.
That's one thing that people I don't think you've realized. Like, that's not a svelte thing like a house
That's
cat.
a lion, sir.
They have enormous forearms.
Yeah, it's a lion. They'll
How
bring
much do you
down-
think that weighs?
Bring down an elk.
I bet that's 130 pounds.
Yeah, maybe 150. Think about how big that is. That doesn't seem big, but when you see a Rottweiler, a police dog like that's, or a
90
German
pounds.
Shepherd, 90 pounds.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
And add another 60 pounds, 40
Yeah.
pounds.
That's a big animal, man.
Yeah.
It's such a big animal, and they're just wandering around our neighborhoods.
Effective killers. Effective.
I'm having a guy come on who's a mountain lion biologist out of Topanga Canyon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I might actually go and trap one with him.
How many
If I have
do
the
they
time.
think there are?
Oh,
out
there's
there?
there's quite a few.
This one weighed 150.
Wow,
Damn.
The one that died.
wow,
150.
that is a big cat. Jesus Christ,
He's only
that's
3 years
big.
old.
Jesus Christ, 3 years old. He weighs 150 pounds.
Just living on deer.
Yeah, go look around for deer in California.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
There ain't no deer out here. There's so few deer. If you're a deer hunter in California, you're sad face all year round. You're not looking forward to it.
And yeah, I see a lot of deer in Topanga.
Yeah, you see a few.
They're drawn to me.
Oh.
I feed them.
Are you
It's my alpha energy. They feel safe with me.
But do you have a connection with them, do you think?
To be honest with you, I run with them.
Have you always been like this?
They flank me. They would never go past me. They flank me. And when I do my kung fu in an open field, they surround me and they bow until I release them. And I go, ha!
It's not good.
It might be. That's hard, man. I bumped into someone's car once, and I left a note with my phone number and my address.
Nice.
And or not my address, my phone number and my name. And they called me up, and they just so happened to be very good friends with someone who I was friends with. So then he calls me up, and he tells me, "Dude, you hit my friend's car." And he tells me, "I go, no, that's them." I go, "Tell him to call me, man."
That's cool.
Yeah,
It was
So
noble.
well, It wasn't bad, but it was something.
Yeah.
You know, it was a little scuff on the bumper.
Right.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, thank God I left a message.
Yeah.
I felt like such a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
hanging out with my friend, and he was like, man, some fucking asshole hit my friend's car and took off. You believe that shit? I'm like, no, crazy. Bro, that's bullshit.
And now cameras have everybody doing everything. So you'll always get busted.
Yeah. When do you think it's going to be where you have a Tesla? You know what those things do. When do you think it's going to be where no one's driving? How many more years?
Where a lot of people aren't driving.
20.
Yeah, I would say 20 to 30.
Yeah. You remember when Priuses were a joke?
Yeah.
Someone had a Prius, like, get that fucking stupid thing away from me.
Yeah.
Or even the early Tesla, the Roadster. Like, do you know that Top Gear? You want to know? You know that British show Top Gear?
Yeah.
Here's what's crazy. I found out they did an episode where they pretended that the Tesla Roadster died on them while they were driving it around the track, but it didn't really die on them. That was just the storyline. Was that they wanted it to die. So
that's gross.
Apparently, the way the show is made, it's like a comedy show, and it's scripted, so they can get away with doing something like that. So Elon Musk sued them, and I think he lost. Believe it or not,
Jeez.
because
they don't claim to be
exactly. They don't claim to be factual, and they complained. They don't claim to not have narratives that they create.
That's so gross.
Pull that up just to make sure that I'm not
gross.
It's pretty gross.
It's amazing how many shots that they take.
Elon Musk called Top Gear completely phony, and his company sued for libel and malicious falsehoods. A judge dismissed the suit in October, saying no viewer of the program could have reasonably compared the Roadster's performance on the track to a real-world performance on the street.
That seems fuzzy.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, what is
2012 that was.
What is the case? What Elon Musk said that was that they faked it. And they claimed the power Tesla. Okay, let's see what it says so we can figure out. I'm pretty sure that's the story. After Tesla dropped the car off, Elon Musk claimed that one of his employees was along for the delivery, noticed that a script for the episode. Inside, there was a segment about the Tesla breaking down. But that was only the tip of the iceberg. Top Gear claimed that the Tesla Roadster ran out of power while driving after just 55 miles, much less than the 200 miles quoted by Tesla, albeit it was being driven hard, a claim that Musk said was untrue. According to him, the Roadster's logs showed that the car had never dipped below 20% charge during the entirety of the filming. The clip followed with the Roadster's motor overheating, which wasn't addressed by Musk, and finally a brake failure, which Musk claims was instead a blown fuse and not an equipment failure. Battery-powered electric cars will soon die altogether, former Top Gear host James May said. Interesting.
Isn't it amazing?
So there was it sounds like there was some horse shit for sure, but it does sound like there was a real brake problem. And the brake problem was a blown fuse, which there's nothing you can do about that.
But just that, it's such a strange thing that, like,
yeah,
you just have to attack electric cars. Like, it's just a...
Well, I think them making a script, if they had a script that said that the Tesla was going to break down, they thought it would be funny.
It's a comedy bit.
It's a comedy show.
Right.
Like, Jeremy Clarkson was fucking hilarious.
Right.
He's really funny.
Yeah, but there is definitely...
the
people that
influence.
are, you believe a lot of the stuff that they say and the performance of the car. I always thought it was funny, but I also saw them as experts.
Well, they kind of are.
Yeah.
I mean, they know a lot of shit.
Yeah.
They know a lot of shit about cars, for sure. Jeremy Clarkson knows a lot about cars. The problem is people go to them for advice and lap times and all that shit. And if you're saying a car is breaking down, you engineered that into the script.
It's pretty dirty.
That is dirty.
Well, that's how, like, Sean Hannity gets away with saying that he's not a news program.
Does he get away with that? So he's like WWE of news?
Yeah, he says it's entertainment.
Really? He says that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
That's why you have a little out. We're not a news program. We don't claim to be.
He says that?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are coming to you thinking it's news.
But isn't he a commentary program? Isn't that what they say? Like, it's not that he's news.
He says it's entertainment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you find it entertaining?
No.
You should sue.
I should sue.
You should sue.
Oh, I could do that.
He says it's entertaining. He's a liar.
Yeah, it's not that entertaining.
I didn't find it entertaining. Sue!
I'm going to sue them and the Game of Thrones people.
I hate dragons.
I don't know what the woo thing is that's happened in the last couple of years. Woo! Like it's just like, and the whole crowd starts. It's like
they just get excited.
But that's new. That's like I wasn't around a long time ago.
It's probably some soccer thing. They probably stole it from
woo,
soccer.
And then
right?
like woo, it's like animals answering each other at some point. It's like you got motherfuckers,
right?
You know what I mean, communicating with the woos.
Dude, I never even thought of that. That's so true. The woo, that's a new thing.
Yeah, and, I mean the last few years,
last 5 or 6 years, right? What do you think? Was that
I feel
a
like it
wrestling
started
thing?
when it's, you know what? When's the first time it popped up down south, like a Kentucky or a North Carolina? That's when I feel like I heard it first. Like,
you know, that might be Ric Flair. That might be a Ric Flair.
It might be a Ric Flair. Is that what that is? Oh, yeah, dude, that would make a lot. Now you fucking solved the mystery for me. That would make sense if we can get some confirmation on that somehow.
Someone someone asked this question on Reddit, and someone says you've been talking about Ric Flair so much that they might have picked it up from you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if that's right.
What if this is some bizarro moment where it all connected? Like, oh shit, I started that.
Listen, guys like that are important to America. The guy's he's such a character in his prime with his suits, jet flying, alligator wearing.
I was a WCW guy, man, and Ric Flair was the man.
Dude, he's a character that made his way into. What, 1,000 rap songs? How many rap songs have Ric Flair?
Dude, there's a whole like hip hop subculture involved with wrestling. Like, I mean, there's like these cats that I'm actually fans of, West Side Gun and Conway and this kid Benny. They got this record label called Griselda, but the West Side Gun kid is like a fucking wrestling fanatic. Like he's like involved. I think he's involved with like the WWE, like doing merch and stuff like that, because I see him putting shit together that's like definitely got to be licensed. So, but like, yo, it's this whole subculture of like this of wrestling and hip hop going on right now.
Wrestling
too.
has definitely made its way into stand up too now. You know, they have this podcast, The Store Horsemen, where they all just talk about pro wrestling. A bunch of comics, Tony Hinchcliffe and these comics. Who's on that Store Horseman? Jeremiah Watkins, right? Who else? No, he's not. I'm giving out fake news.
Fake news.
That's fake news. But
what's not fake news is this is delicious, by the way.
It's very good.
It's delicious.
Buffalo Trace.
I ain't mad at it.
This company's from 1773, son. They started in 1773.
Like it.
Did you know
really
that they
tasty.
sold whiskey during Prohibition for medicinal purposes?
Of course they did.
I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't, but I'm not shocked at all.
So this company kept making whiskey all through the Prohibition.
Legally, you're
Legally,
saying?
yeah, for medicine. So people that, need a little medicine.
I just got a slew of new whiskeys
Okay, here
for
it
the
is.
birthday.
It's Tony Hinchcliffe, Johnny Skirtis, Matt Edgar, Josh Martin. That's right. I hope I said Skirtis' last name right. Is that right? Did I say it?
It sounds like it.
Yeah. Anyway, so comics are really into pro wrestling too. They even go live. These dorks. They fly out to like WrestleMania and they go in the audience. They live stream everything. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. It's become like it's become a thing that people like to do, like to go to these big wrestling events and groups of people, whether it's musicians or rappers, hip hop or stand-ups. They're going like
for sure,
experiencing it together.
Exactly, it's like the concert experience.
Why are rappers so obsessed with Ric Flair?
Because he's got like 40 Rolexes. Because he's Ric Flair.
That one famous rant that he went on: limousine riding, jet flying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that kind
and
of shit.
they were all 8 when that happened,
Yeah,
and they
you're like,
saw that.
"Woo!"
Yes, that's everything I want in the universe.
Yeah, you see him now. I mean, the guy still gets love everywhere he goes. Like I did in my special where I said, Ric Flair, and then I put the microphone out to the audience. The audience goes, "Woo!" Like,
dude, you started that shit, then, dude. You started the woo.
I don't think I did. I think it was already going on. I think everybody appreciates this guy. It's like as you get old, we can't play this, right? We'll get in trouble. But this is as you get older, you see things like this, you appreciate them for what they're like. You could think they're cheesy when you're young, but then as you get older, you go, no, that's fucking awesome. The fact that guy is this
those
tank
glasses are
with
amazing.
This beautiful golden mullet with those crazy sunglasses, saying all this nutty shit.
Big old pinky ring.
Dude, man, that's an artist. The guy's an artist. Look at it.
That's the male soap opera forever since back when we were children, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When I was a kid, it was Bob Backlund and Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Iron Sheik.
I don't know if you could have really grown up in America as a little boy and not had a phase at some point where you interacted with one of these wrestling organizations, WCW or WWF, when I was growing up.
And if you were like one of those kids that's really into like alt music and indie groups, you know, you would go for some like fucking Killer Kowalski shit. You would go
Undertaker.
Yeah. You would try to find some people that were off the beaten path. Like, do you know about this wrestling organization? Because there's a bunch of like weird little tiny
dude
ones.
when House of Pain like was like early on, like, you know, but you know, we were already experiencing pretty good success. Like ECW had formed, the Crazy Extreme Championship Wrestling, I think that's what it stood for, out of Philadelphia, and they invited us to a bunch. And it was the first time I ever really, and I know it had happened before, but their whole show was about cats cutting their faces open and bleeding during matches and shit. It was insanity, man. And they had packed houses. I mean, I think dude bought it up. Like Vince McMahon bought it up, and the guy who owned it or ran it became one of the like characters within it. I believe. It's been a long time. I'm old now. I'm 50.
Something to say.
I think you listen to people too much, Corey.
Man, that's the problem. My wife said all the time, like every morning, she's like, no negativity today. That's
you should just stay the fuck offline. That's what you should do.
But
don't read that shit.
Because now I'm doing the hunting stuff. And when I post the stuff, it's like, as I go to it pops, something will pop up. And then
MMA
you see
questions.
It. Yeah, or at the top of the screen, it'll drop down or pop up in the notification, or I get a email notification. Somebody said, and you see half of it. And I'm like, don't open it. Don't open it. Then I'm driving, like, I wonder what the rest of it say. It could be a good thing. It might be bad. And I actually open it up later on, and there's somebody saying something bad. And it's just like my wife just said, she's like, I see it, just don't pay no attention to it. But
yeah, you're allowing negativity into your life that you don't need. I mean, you think about your camp, you got all these positive people, all these motivated people, all these professionals, you know, exceptional human beings, right? Everybody training and grinding together. And then you got schmoes that are contacting you on Twitter or Instagram or whatever and just saying a bunch of nonsense. And that can fuck with your head. Mm-hmm. You know, and these are not people that would ever say that if they were in front of your face. Yeah. It's a gross way to communicate. It's not it's like passing by a shitty fast food restaurant being drawn in to eat. And then you eat and you're like, God, why did I eat that garbage? It's the same thing. It's like you're eating sense. It's like fast food for your brain. It's so tempting because you just want to read those comments, and most of the people are probably good people who are fans. Most of them. But all it takes is 10% assholes, and you never want to look at your comments again. Mm-hmm. 1 out of 10. And it's not hard to get 10%. You know, 10% assholes is like pretty damn good in the real world. You know, if you only run into 1 out of 10 that's an asshole, you know, or 1 out of 100. Even if it was 1 out of 100 in your comments that are shitty, you don't want to read those comments. Yeah. It's just for a fighter, man. It's so much of it is about mindset and just being focused and not having any distractions. And I think those comments are a giant distraction. You know, you don't need anybody telling you what to do. You got Mark fucking Henry. You got Ricardo Almeida. You got all these world champions around you. Like, you don't need any other information. You're getting plenty of information. You know, fuck all that shit. You shouldn't even look at it. Yeah. You should post and just run away. Just post something and don't even look at it. Don't even read. Just keep going. Just keep going. I
got to work it. I know I got to work on it.
Because what you're saying right now, all the things you were saying about beating Glover, about beating Alir Latifi, but you're saying it like you're arguing with somebody. Mm-hmm. You're saying like someone told you can't do it. But who gives a fuck what they said? You did do it. So why argue with someone who clearly doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about anyway? Right? But in your head, you're like, they said I couldn't do this. So you still have that... See, you know what I'm talking about. You have that battle.
100%. Because Mark, they tell me all the time, like, bro, quit feeding. Like,
don't even read it.
Where I come from, me and my brother, we also had that mentality. Like, people like to talk this and this. Yeah. We weren't the type we ain't gonna sit there and talk back and forth. It's like, all right, and my first response to anybody, they talking shit, like, all right, put your hands up. I'm ready to fight. Like, you say I'm gonna prove you wrong. That's always been my time. Like, they always said, Corey couldn't do this. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do this. My whole life. Like in college, like, Corey, you're not good enough to go to Midlands. We only take 5 guys on the team, and I'm guaranteed coach ain't going to take you. But the 2 years I was there, I was the guy that went to Midlands, the first pick every time.
Yes, yeah. What's the benefit of grass-fed beef over regular beef? I know there is a benefit, but I don't. I never can recall it correctly. It's something to do with the
It's mostly
essential
fatty acid ratios. Yeah, because grain you're gonna have more of the omega-6 fatty acids, which have been unfairly vilified. Meaning that a lot of people are just like, don't eat any omega-6s, don't have any arachidonic acid, like don't overdo your seeds, your nuts, your nut butter. Kind of like the orthorexic health world as a whole. You know, like when you read nutrition magazines and stuff, they're like, do your omega-3s, but be careful. Americans have a 20-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, but the problem is that omega-6s, that's a lot of those are derived from what are called parent essential oils, and your cell membranes need a certain amount of omega-6 fatty acids from seeds and nuts and plants and even to a certain extent grains. And when you have an excess of omega-3s and not enough omega-6s because you're going so far into the fish oil category, then it actually damages a component of your mitochondrial membrane called cardiolipin. You actually make less of that.
Really?
And so you interfere with normal cellular activity.
What seeds are most beneficial? Flax?
I would imagine the most nutrient-dense ones.
Right.
So
do you have a specific ones?
Almonds, macadamia. I mean, what I eat is like almonds, macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts. I just don't eat the quasi-nuts like peanuts, which are, they're not as high in nutrient density. They're more of a legume than a nut. I eat a lot of my nuts either raw or lightly roasted. You always look at the label to make sure they didn't put a lot of vegetable oil and canola oil in them. But I'm a fan of nuts in moderate. I eat my nuts like you'd eat your nuts if you were gonna have to shell them, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you've ever had to shell a walnut, you're not gonna eat 30 walnuts because that'd be exhausting, right? You might have a handful, like like eat your pistachios in the shell. It's annoying as hell, but keeps you from eating too many of them.
I buy them shelled and I eat fistfuls of them.
Yeah.
Like last night I ate like a half a bag.
Yeah. Pistachios are great for your microbiome too.
Yeah.
They actually had a couple of research studies on that last year that showed an improvement in the diversity of the bacteria in your gut with pistachios. So that's one of the nuts that's good for your body, probably because of the fiber content in pistachios. But grass-fed versus grain-fed is primarily the omega-3 fatty acids. I mean, you have less of the arachidonic acid, less of the potentially inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. There's probably part of it being that grass-fed, grass-finished beef is generally raised on a farm that's using less herbicides, less pesticides, raising their meat in a more sustainable fashion, giving it less hormones, giving it less antibiotics. That's painting with a broad brush. But generally, grass-fed, there's more to it than just the fatty acid composition. It's just a better meat overall. Better health-wise. Grain-fed beef, I will not lie. Like you can have a pretty damn tasty fatty cut of grain-fed beef. Like,
you certainly can, but I honestly prefer the taste of grass-fed. I like the denser meat, the darker meat. I like it better. To me, it just tastes healthier. I crave it more. And when I go back and forth between the two of them, when I eat grain-fed, it feels like a lazy cow, like it's mushy. Yeah. It's got it's good, it's delicious, don't get me wrong, but there's a difference.
It's kind of funny because I've gone over to Dubai a few times and taught fitness conferences over there, and they advertise grain-fed. Like they want everybody to, when you go to the restaurants, this beef is the finest grain-fed beef.
If you go to Peter Luger's, which is
a lot of grain,
pretty widely recognized as the greatest steakhouse in the world, that place is all grain-fed. That place is a
trip. I didn't like my steak at Peter Luger's.
How fucking dare you?
I
Who
know.
are you?
I'm gonna get killed.
Why did you not like it?
Some rude Brooklyn waiter is gonna take me out. But
how could you not have liked it?
I didn't like it.
What?
I didn't like it. Just something about the meat just tasted. It tasted like it was drenched in vegetable oil. Something about it just didn't taste right. And maybe I had a poor Peter Luger's experience.
That doesn't even make sense.
I did not enjoy it that much.
Dude, I ate there, and afterwards I'm like, I don't think it gets better. I don't think. Yeah. I didn't want to fanboy out when I met you, but I'm a huge fan.
Thank
Just
you
to let
very
you know,
much.
I really love your music.
Thank you
I think
very
Dave
much.
Cross is the first guy who turned me on to you. I think,
Really?
I don't remember how. I just remember him telling me about Exile in Guyville.
Do you mean Mr. Show?
Yeah,
David Cross?
Yeah, he's the one. Yeah.
He was a big, Mr. Show was in my happiest touring iteration. That was what we watched every night after the show. We'd hit the bus and everyone would watch Mr. Show till he passed out.
That's a genius show. I think it's for Bob. I mean, Bob did great on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. And he's done a lot of other stuff that's awesome too. But there's something about the two of those guys together. A very unusual combination. And their writing is just so bizarre and weird. But They did a Netflix thing for a while. I don't know if are they still doing that? Do you know?
I think he's doing those other shows now. I don't think so.
Too bad. Anyway, Dave Cross introduced me to Liz Phair. So there you
Well,
go.
I am. That's a nice touchstone since it was part of my touring life.
There you go.
I feel very good about that.
So you got, what do you have now? You have a box set out coming out? A compilation? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a reissue of my first record, Exile in Guyville, with the original Girly Sound tapes that I made on a 4-track in, late 80s, early 90s.
Was that when you were living at home?
Yeah, that was when I was recalled back from San Francisco, having not gotten a job and run out of money and grifted my way across like the Bay Area. I mean, I had a place. I was rooming. Everyone from my college class moved out to San Francisco, basically from Oberlin. So I went too. And I made these little cassettes that I forwarded to 2 friends, and one of them got super busy making copies of these cassettes and sent them to every fanzine in America with this like glowing recommendation. And all of a sudden I was living at home, still didn't have a job. And I would get these envelopes coming to me saying like, please make me a cassette copy. Here's $10. And can you imagine what happened to the $10? Like, how awful is that? I truly just I was like, great, thanks. I wasn't making yeah. Like there's about like 100 people that didn't get their cassette, but I wasn't making the cassettes. But anyway, that's sort of Taewon Yu is actually the person who made lots of cassettes and sent them around. So I have him to thank.
Did you have a thought that you were going to eventually make it or be a big singer, or was that even an idea?
Not a clue.
That's
I
crazy.
hated being in front of people. Like I would not want to. I loved being in the studio. I loved recording, but I was super stage frightened, and I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do less than get up in front of people and play music or do anything.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. But
it was hard.
But
yeah.
you obviously have a love of music.
I love playing music. I get very self-conscious with a crowd.
You got to pull this sucker up to you, otherwise we're not going to...
I get very self-conscious in front of a crowd.
Still?
Not so much anymore. I do about 2 weeks before I hit the stage, I will stop sleeping. And then...
Really?
Yeah, and I'll
2
work
weeks.
myself into this kind of cold sweat when I think about it. I'll be like, can I leave the country? And then, I get on the stage and it all comes back to me and I'm like, I've done this a million times. This is the best job in the world. And I can't psych myself into that feeling until I'm actually on stage.
Maybe that's just because you care about it so much.
Probably. I'm too alert. We should be smoking those joints that are not in that head.
I have some over here. No?
Can't even imagine where we'd go with that.
We do it all the time. If you want to, let me know. We're about 10 minutes in and you change your mind.
Okay.
Anytime.
If it gets really rough, if it gets really personal, maybe I'll...
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
I'm a very awake person.
Well, that's a good thing.